Kathy, a woman I just married 3 weeks ago, who seems to be unconsciously competent in always focusing on what she does want and not recognizing there may be obstacles. I've known her for years, and she wanted to get married in a fairy tale way, and I wanted to just elope. And having the financial means, I tried to lure her to Tahiti, no. Hawaii to elope, no. We'll go to Paris, very romantic, no. When she was about 8 years old, she'd seen that Richard Burton and Liz Taylor had married at the California Carmel Mission and had one of their receptions at Pebble Beach, and that was what she had in mind. And so I surrendered to her because I wanted it to be the greatest moment of her life. And so everything she wanted to happen seemed almost impossible, because it's very hard to get married at the Carmel Mission if you're not members, and we're not, and she managed to get that done. It's almost impossible to book the Pebble Beach function hall without 3 or 4 years in advance. She managed to find a space. Somebody dropped out in 6 months. The last thing she wanted was, from her movie star image of what she wanted, was somebody famous there. So I had planned to have George Michael, who's a singer, be the singer, and he'd be famous, and that would take care of that, and I could afford that, and I was going to do it. But he dropped out. So her perfect marriage would be perfect, except there wouldn't be someone famous there. So then it happened about 3 weeks ago, and everything was just as perfect as she wanted, except no one famous would be there. At the reception, and Phil, one of the participants, said to me, Bob, Oprah's here to see you. So I said, oh, get out of here, Phil. He said, no, I'm serious. Oprah's here to see you. And I said, well, no, she's not. And he said, yeah, she's here with... Who is she here with, Jonathan? Clint Eastwood. Oh, she's here with Clint Eastwood. I mean, I've forgotten the... So I said, Phil, stop it. He said, no, and he grabbed me and pulled me around the corner, and there's Oprah and Clint Eastwood. What had happened was, it was John Steinbeck's 100th or 150th anniversary, and they had brought Oprah down, and Clint used to be the mayor of Carmel, Monterey area, and they had him playing golf, and they got to the 18th hole, and they wanted to come into the 19th hole, which is the function hall, which I'd rented out so you couldn't come in. And when they asked to come in, of course, someone said, I'm sorry, there's a wedding, and Oprah said, oh my God, in her open spirit, could we come in and congratulate them? So I share that story because I absolutely am, totally convinced that the law of attraction does work. So that's what I wanted to share as a story.
And there is more that we want to add to this, because we think that it is really worth pointing out that your dear mate was able to maintain her vibration of expectancy, even with someone up close to her like you saying, that is not possible, that is not possible, that is not possible. In other words, it really is a very powerful story that lets everyone understand that it does not matter what anybody else thinks. In other words, her creation is her creation, and everybody else is just playing along with it. But you get everything that you want, provided you are in alignment with it. And you've got to think about it. This one had set this into motion since she was 8 years old. In other words, the universe was very willing and able to comply point by point by point to anything that any of you are wanting. And it doesn't take that many years since you are 8 years old. It just takes having beat more of the drum of what you are wanting and less of the drum of your pessimism about it. In other words, when you want something, this is what determination is. This is what setting your own track is. This is what telling the universe. Falls into the category of making a decision and then making the decision right, because there is nothing that you cannot achieve. And the universe has, for everything that you want, the universe lines up thousands of paths of least resistance in order to assist you in accommodating it. In other words, and doesn't it make you want to add even more details that would please you to everything? When you realize that the universe can do that and the universe can do this. We liked your words. The universe did this impossible thing, the universe did this impossible thing, and then the really impossible thing that really looked like it really was impossible turned out not to be impossible after all, because all things are possible when you are in alignment. Yes.
Thank you.
We think it is particularly interesting that Oprah was the one that showed up. Because she hears our tapes and she understands the law of attraction.
Wow. Thank you for that.